What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another video. Mock Draft Monday time. We're going to be doing a 10-teamer this time. I've gotten a few requests to do a 10-team league because I do 12-team almost every single time. So it's going to be half point, 10-team. I don't know what spot it's going to be. We'll find out when I look at the page. We're going to do it on Sleeper, and I've gotten a few people have asked me what site should they be using for the most accurate ADPs right now, because I know come like mid-August, you should just be using whatever site you're actually going to draft on. But right now, I recommend Sleeper, and I recommend Fantasy Football Calculator. Fantasy Pros is fine. I'm a contributor there, but I don't think that everyone has up-to-date rankings, and so the ADPs when you draft them are slightly off. So Sleeper.app is the website that I'm going to use today. It can be actually a little bit confusing, so I'll show you. So if you go to Sleeper.app, this is going to pop up. And then all you do is click Open Sleeper, and then Draft Boards, and then create my draft board. This is how you get in to like the mock draft, just because the setup can be a little confusing for people. And I like night mode. There, I don't know, it's personal preference. So just go to draft settings here in this little gauge. We're gonna do half point, 10-team. I like to put on 5 minutes between so that I can talk. But if you guys are simulating your draft, I'd put it to like 60 seconds just to make yourself go through it. Save that. Roster settings, you guys know they always save mine, but we don't play with kickers. So 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, the flex spot, and then 7 bench. A pretty normal setup. Draft order, I can claim one at a different time, so just keep that there. Go over here. I'm gonna claim. Oh, hold up! I actually pulled this up. These are the ones I've done. So we'll do 5 actually. There, from the 5 spot. I haven't done that one yet, so I will claim the 5th spot, and we will begin our draft. So I also want to pull up my roster because I forget to do that sometimes. First people: Saquon, Alvin Kamara, David Johnson. Wow, David Johnson we're going 4 now, and Zeke. So this makes my decision pretty easy. It's Christian McCaffrey. I believe my actual rankings for half point are Saquon 1, Kamara 2, then McCaffrey, then Zeke, then David Johnson. I do have him at 5. I honestly get this question a lot too. Don't care. Whoever you feel the best with in that top 5, go for it. I don't think their projections, at the end of the day, some projections are a little bit off, and I do have Kamara, I think, at 1. But at the end of the day, they're all elite, and you're not going to lose your league because you drafted one of these guys unless you get hurt, and you can't predict that kind of stuff. So take any of the top 5 you want, and I say top 5 because I do not include Melvin Gordon in the same tier. I have him at 1 tier below. It's barely, but it is 1 tier below. So we've not gotten a quarterback yet. We have not my team saying no quarterback's been drafted. No tight end has been drafted. Okay, this is interesting. So talk a little bit about tight end strategy in my 5 minutes. Just basically with Kelsey. When you're in a smaller league, when you guys are in 8-team leagues, 10-team leagues, it is more important to excel at positions that people might be weak at. So in a 16-team league, you know, you can get away with having a not-so-great tight end because a lot of people are going to have not-so-great tight ends, and maybe you want to have an advantage at running back or wide receiver. Great. But if you're in a 10 or an 8-team league, everyone's team's really good, right? You like look at every single team, these first 4 rounds, we're all going to have pretty solid rosters. So you're not going to see that much of a difference between your running backs and wide receivers. So in smaller leagues, and I say 8 and 10 for smaller leagues, you bump up quarterback and you bump up tight end just a little bit just to give yourself that extra edge. Because even if I take a tight end here, which I honestly think I'm going to do, my team is still going to have really good running backs and really good wide receivers, but I've also gained an edge at tight end. So it's just something to think about. The smaller the league, the more you lean away from those running backs and tight ends early and just try and grab an elite quarterback and an elite tight end so that you can excel positions because they're still going to be good everywhere else. But in 12-team leagues, I do still like getting your running backs early. But let's just look at what we would have had. So we're not quarterback yet. But for running back, we'd be looking at Nick Chubb or Damian Williams. Those are the 2 guys I have on a tier ahead. And it's possible I get them at the next pick, which would be really nice. For wide receivers, this is all a tier. I have all these guys in 1 tier, and I don't really care which one I get. Like, obviously, I have preferences. Like, I have Mike Evans the most here. I'd really like Evans ahead of the other guys, but not enough to say what's the drop off between Kelsey to Ertz Kittle. There's a nice cliff there, and then there's another jump between OJ Howard, Hunter Henry, and then there's another gap between the rest of them. So because I see all these gaps, and I think my team's going to be perfectly fine at the other positions, let's lock up Kelsey, and we're good. Like, we're good at tight end. We're going to beat everyone. Not every week we're going to beat everyone, but every week going into the week, we have an advantage. We've already established an advantage. Plus, I didn't see Damian Williams. I was going to say it. Plus, I got my 7th rated running back in the 3rd round, but it didn't happen. So let's look what's left. Marlon Mack, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, Kerryon Johnson. That's what I like. I'm not in love with taking one of them here, but let's look at what wide receivers left. Wow, okay. You guys know I've been poo-pooing AB, but getting him in the 3rd round is not bad value. So AB, Adam Thielen, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. So the drop-off here is probably after Amari Cooper. We've got a nice little 4-man right here with AB, Thielen, Keenan Allen, and Amari Cooper. That's like a nice range where I would like to lock up one of them. And because I'm very much, if I don't get one of them, they're probably both going to get, or all going to get taken here. I think I might do something I haven't done and take Antonio Brown because he is ahead of these guys. Let's do it. Let's take AB. I haven't done that yet, but that's a good spot. So see, we're in a 10-team league. So we've locked up McCaffrey, we've locked up Travis Kelce, we've locked up Antonio Brown. That's a really nice start to each position. One quarterback went, and it's Mahomes. I think Mahomes I would give more of like a 4th round grade, but I don't think it's the worst pick in the world in a smaller league taking him because like if you look at this guy's roster, I mean it's computer, they're all computers, but if you look at his roster, you've got Devonta Adams and Julio, so he's already got really nice wide receivers, and Kerryon, while he's not a running back 1 preferably, is solid, and he does have upside to be a running back 1. So if that guy hits his upside, plus he's got 2 good wide receivers, taking Mahomes isn't horrible. It's just not ideal because there are going to be so many quarterbacks late. Ooh. Okay, so we can lock up Keenan Allen. That's what we're going to do because unfortunately, yeah, all the guys I talked about for running back got taken, and this is like a huge tier at the running back position that so many of these guys are the same, and because I already have McCaffrey, I feel really good about him every single week. I'm going to lock up Keenan Allen and then probably just disregard wide receiver for a bit. Excuse me. I want to bring up something. So someone asked me a question. I don't even remember. I think it was in the Facebook chat, which you guys can be part of if you get the draft package at our website, thefantasyfootballadvice.com. Go there, check out what we got. But it was a question in the chat. It was a really good one about starting off with 4 running backs. Obviously, the question stems from the fact that you can only start 3 in most leagues, and a lot of people are scared to draft that 4th running back as a bench spot when you haven't filled out quarterback, tight end, or wide receiver. That's a little scary. And my answer was, it's fine. Like it doesn't apply here, but it reminded me because Team 3 over here took David Johnson, Damian Williams, and Nick Chubb. And I guess the question would be, okay, if they're in love with, I don't know, they really like Kenyon Drake with this pick, and they just want to lock in Kenyon Drake and be like, dude, I'm good at running back. Is that fine? And the answer is yes. But the answer is, ideally, if it's close, don't do it. Because I'm fine taking all that position, but in the next round, you've locked yourself into a box. You cannot start off with 5 running backs. I mean, that's a little bit excessive. So then you have to basically take a wide receiver, tight end, or quarterback next. And what if the value's not there? Like, what if you get to that 5th spot and you're like, ooh, wow, I really don't want any of these wide receivers. Well, you have to take one now. So now you're at a disadvantage in that pick. Whereas maybe you're okay at least, because the 4th round, you should be okay with one of the wide receivers. And then you're okay with one of the running backs in the 5th round. So it's just taking the 4th running back there says you cannot take a running back with the next pick, and you might have to reach like a round ahead, take someone you like. And it's just, don't lock yourself into a box like that. Maybe this person could have, because it's not very many picks between the next one. But I did just want to bring that up because it's an important thing that I've taken a lot of running backs early. It's not ideal. You want to lock up one solid wide receiver just so that you're not, like I said, locked into a box with the rest of your draft. Okay, so with that spiel over, we're going to take Keenan Allen, and the computer did pick a wide receiver. Not that the computer was probably factoring all that in. Okay, so we have Christian McCaffrey, Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, and Travis Kelce. That feels really good. Feels like a really good start. So we're leaning running back. We don't have to, but it's probably a good idea to take a running back with this pick. We've got a no, an absolutely yes for Kenyon Drake. You guys know I like him. Absolutely yes for Darrell Henderson. I'm cool taking him in the 5th round. Rashad Penny. These are all guys I like, but we don't need to go into the 70s when we're in the 5th round here. So I'm going to take Kenyon Drake. I just want to look at, there's still really elite options. So if someone wanted to take Andrew Luck with this pick, I'm cool with it. And as I say that, maybe I should try it. I should try it, right? This is mock drafts. Mock drafts are made for trying. So here's, okay, if this is my real draft, I'm not taking Andrew Luck because I look down here and I've got Cam Newton criminally undervalued. I've got Dak Prescott way undervalued. Like, he might not even get drafted in this league, which is nuts. You've got Lamar Jackson's being extremely undervalued. Kirk Cousins, Mitchell Trubisky. These are guys who, again, might not get drafted in this league. Is the difference between a very last round pick and a 5th round pick? What's the gap between Andrew Luck and Trubisky in the very last round versus the running back I would take here would be Kenyon Drake versus a last round running back would be, I don't know, like a Justice Hill or a Damian Williams? I mean, there's probably a bigger gap, at least in your confidence, with those guys. So let's see what we would get. We're looking at what, like 2, 4, we're looking at 10 picks are going to be taken between this pick and the next one. Let's say we take Andrew Luck. That means we can probably say, would be what, down here? Oh, they actually have a line. That's pretty cool. Projected. We're going to be in this range. So we'll be looking at, like, for running backs, Cohen. It's the Cohen range, and it's not. I guess we'd be praying for Darrell Henderson. We'd probably take Rashad Penny if Henderson got taken. But that would be ideal. So if we could start off, let's try it. Let's try it, guys. Let's just see how the team will shape up. Because I did say you want to gain advantages in smaller leagues. Let's see how our team shapes up when we are the 2nd person to take a quarterback. Something I typically don't recommend. But let's see how it works. And actually, that would have been really nice if Kenyon Drake had actually fell that far. But look at running back. Geis, again, I have concerns with his upside, given that Chris Thompson is going to get a lot of 3rd down work. He'll get a few carries, but that's not really something to deal with. But Adrian Peterson didn't sign that deal to come back and do nothing. So when you have a guy who's on a timeshare for only early downs, that's just tough. It's just tough for him to hit value. He's got to get a bunch of touchdowns. I don't want to draft someone who needs touchdowns. Cohen, that's a good pick, maybe in a full point PPR league, but you've got Mike Davis and David Montgomery stealing early down work, so Cohen's not going to have very many carries at all, so you're kind of touchdown hunting with him too with the reception. That's not something I want. Coleman, I think, is the best back best back to draft for San Fran, but looking at him, I mean, he's in a timeshare too, and we don't really know a lot. So now I'm down to like James White, and there's question marks with every single person remaining in this draft. Darrell Henderson, I know his role. It's the Alvin Kamara role. I'm not saying he's Alvin Kamara, but he's playing the Alvin Kamara role in the Rams offense. So I also have 5th round grade on him, so I'm getting an extra round here. I'll take that because he has the exact same role as James White, as Tariq Cohen in the receiving game, but now he's actually going to get more carries than those guys will get. He has a much higher carry projection than them. Plus, would you take the Rams offense or the Bears offense? Well, you take the Rams offense. The Rams are the Patriots offense or the Rams. Well, now probably taking the Rams. So he's on the better offense with more early down work, pretty similar, probably a little bit less receiving work, but he's going to probably score more touchdowns than these guys. and the upside. Because if something happens to Gurley, he's a running back 1. So the pick is Darrell Henderson, and I could risk waiting until the 7th round to take him, but I don't know. There's so many wide receivers here. I don't really care which one I get, and I've already locked up quarterback and tight end, so we're just going to take the guy that we want. Sometimes, you know, maybe the value's there, so you're like, maybe I can just wait one more round. Sometimes it's not worth it. Just take the guy. I'm cool reaching. People asked actually that question, how early can we start reaching? Don't do it in the first 4 rounds, but as soon as you get to the 5th round, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. You don't want to reach like more than a round because then you're getting a little bit ridiculous. You should be waiting around if it's like, and if you're reaching 2 rounds behind, it's like, okay, easy. Like you guys got to return pretty nice value at that point. But reaching around, even in like the 5th, it's good because the success rates drop off a cliff after the 4th round. So you're really not reaching into that much lower of a success rate. Ooh, we can get Penny too. Nice. But let's look at wide receiver. So let's actually look at our team. Andrew Luck, Christian McCaffrey, Darrell Henderson, Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, and Travis Kelce. Ooh, that is nice. That is really nice. I love some of these wide receivers, and I think I'm actually going to get at least one of them when it wraps around. So I'm going to hold off because as much as I do think Henderson, you could start him as running back 2, even when Gurley's fully healthy, there's risk there, right? So I feel like I should be leaning running back when something's close. And I'm going to take Penny because I believe you'll be able to start him right out of the gates, even if nothing happens to Carson. If something happens to Carson, he's a running back 1. I just like filling my team with players who, if something goes their way, they're running back 1s. And honestly, this is like a 1A, 1B situation, but we don't know who A and B are. Because Penny, in some metrics, was better than Carson last season. It was just the injury to start the year and being a rookie. But he was really good. Limited passing game work, but I mean, they don't really have pass catching backs, so it's not that much of a concern. And the other running back, Latavius. That'd be nice. So I am going to take Penny first, but if I could get Latavius with the next one, that would be really nice. Ronald Jones, I still want. So there's some guys that I do really like. Hopefully we can lock a few of them up because having Antonio Brown and Keenan Allen, that gives me flexibility. Like, I'm very unlikely, aside from an injury, to start another wide receiver I draft later ahead of those 2. So yeah, there'll be bye weeks. Yeah, they're probably going to be banged up. Maybe they each miss like a week or 2. But listen, they're Antonio Brown and Keenan Allen. I don't expect to be starting people ahead of them. So I'm going to lean running back, and it looks like we got our guy. Right? Yeah, there's Lat. Same exact thing that I just talked about. This is the blueprint for drafting running backs. If something goes Latavius Murray's way, an injury to Alvin Kamara, he is a running back 1. If nothing goes his way, Alvin Kamara plays every single week, listen, the dude is still going to take over the Mark Ingram role, and you could start Mark Ingram in the flex spot even when Alvin Kamara was fully healthy because that offense is elite. It's going to score points, and they want to keep Alvin Kamara fresh. They do not want Alvin Kamara getting 20 carries and getting 7 targets every single game. They want Kamara to be in the teens for carries and like 7 targets? Yeah, around that 7-8 target range still, but they don't want the carries to be there with the targets. Typically in those games where he has a bunch of targets, he's not getting the carries. He gets the carries in the games where he doesn't get a ton of targets. Obviously, when he's getting a ton of targets, it means they're down. They're dumping the ball a lot. They're not running it with Alvin Kamara. They don't want to kill him in the touches. So I'm going to take Latavius Murray. This is the strategy, though. Remember, if you abandon running back, you take Kelce, AB, Keenan Allen, Luck. This is abandonment of the running back position, which is a very important position on your team. You got to go heavy on some guys that you really like. Henderson, Penny, Latavius Murray, Ronald Jones. I'm probably just going to take with the next pick. We'll look at what... okay. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. So who are the running backs? It's Ronald Jones, who could still be there at the next pick. And wasn't there another one that was down here? Maybe there wasn't. Okay, so it's Ronald Jones. I don't want LaShawn McCoy. There's no way. Freeman could have a comeback year, but I'm not going to spend a 9th round pick on that. Miles Sanders is the best running back on that roster, but I don't know. I want to see more out of camp about how much he's acclimating to the team and how much they plan on using him. In all likelihood, they're using it as a committee approach. You guys know I think that Nick Chubb is a better running back than Kareem Hunt, and that if Hunt is away from the team for 3 months, the idea that people think that he's just going to be thrown in and get a bunch of carries is ridiculous. That no coaching staff would do that. He's a new person to the team, and then he's not even with them since like August, and all of a sudden you're going to throw him in November? No. People aren't going to do that. And then after this, we're just getting... Yeah, we're getting into the yikes range. You know, the pure handcuff and looking for upside. So it's probably ideal to take Ronald Jones, who we feel really good about, and just lock up that 5th running back and be like, we're good with these guys, and then we'll look at free agency or just take an upside guy behind that. But I also look at Christian Kirk and Dante Pettis and Sterling Shepard. I think after that, I've cooled off on Marvin Jones. I updated the premium rankings, draft kit, whatever you want to call it. I updated his note in that accordingly. I've cooled off on my stance. I do not believe he is as great of a pick as he once was, given that the offense is going to run a lot, given that he was held out of all of OTAs, which makes me believe it was not just the bone bruise, that there was something else wrong with the knee. They brought in TJ Hawkinson and then Danny Amendola. There's a targets taken away, and we already know that Kenny Golladay is the clear-cut number 1. So there's not a whole lot going for him besides the fact that before he got hurt, he was a deep threat, he had possession abilities, and he was a red zone threat. That was a while ago, and that was an injury ago. And there are also reports that they're not fully invested in him going forward, which I don't believe fully. But there's just a lot of things that concern me. So when I start scrolling, we've got QT, we've got Samuel, we've got Marquez. Okay, Deshaun Hamilton. So that gives me a little bit more of a I'm cool with not taking Kirk and Pettis. But there's a really big range here where I just don't like the wide receivers. So my thought was, could I take one of Christian Kirk and Dante Pettis? I don't even know who I've ranked higher. I like both of them. And just hope that Ronald Jones doesn't get taken. I could, but I'm a little bit more scared of the range behind Ronald Jones. So I'm just going to take Ronald Jones. Let's just see, actually, how many running backs do get taken. I know that both Pettis and Kirk are going to get taken there. Yeah, there he goes. Oh, and Sterling just got away. I've been warming up to Sterling a little bit. I looked at his red zone usage, especially very close to the end zone, was extremely high in his season last year. And losing Odell, there's just, who are they going to use in the red zone? Obviously Saquon, and obviously Evan Ingram. But aside from that, who are they going to use? Like, they're going to use Sterling Shepard in the red zone, and they're going to use him all over the field. So he's a pretty solid pick in this 10th round range. Okay. Let's look at the team again. Just make sure we know what's up. Andrew Luck, McCaffrey, Henderson, Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, Travis Kelce, and Rashad Penny. And then we've got Latavius Murray and Ronald Jones. Good. I'm cool with running back. I can wait because I've got 5 guys I really like. We need some wide receivers. So we also want some upside because AB and Keenan Allen are likely to be locked in there for most of the season. I don't love it. Maybe I should have gone the other way. I don't love this range. I'm just going to go way back here. I'm just going to take my guys with QT and Samuel and Marquez in these next rounds because, yeah, it looks like I'm reaching, but I don't want Geronimo. I don't think he's the second best wide receiver on that team. I don't want Corey Davis. I don't want Larry Fitz. I don't think he's the number 1 anymore. Mecole Hardman, yeah, I could take him, but I don't know what's happening with Tyreek Hill, and it's looking almost like he might not even be suspended, which is ridiculous. Doug Baldwin retired, right? So I don't know why he's here. Courtland Sutton, I don't think he's the most talented wide receiver in the roster. I think it's Deshaun Hamilton. Golden Tate changed teams in the offseason. He's on a bad team. I don't know what his role is going to be. D.D. Westbrook, I don't mind that. That's some upside hunting, but again, it's on the Jaguars, and they're the Jaguars, so I don't love that. We're never going to draft Emmanuel Sanders this year. Not drafting James Washington. Deshaun Jackson, I mean, I'll never know when to start him. So there's warts with everyone, so why not just take the guys I really like? So I'll take QT with this pick, and then in all likelihood, whoa, there all the wide receivers go. Oh, the Bears. Yeah, that's a terrible pick. Then we take Curtis Samuel. And then we'll probably take Marquez with this next one. How many picks do we even have left? Oh, yeah, we got that deep bench. Also, for those commissioners out there, deep benches. Is Doug Baldwin not retired? I should look that up. For those commissioners out there, always a deep bench. I'm in a league where we have a 5-person bench. That's just done, and it's a standard scoring league. Just awful. But we got a 5-person bench. Don't do that. If you guys are watching this video, it means you're trying to create an edge, right? You're trying to get an edge over your opponent. Shorter benches mean that bad players have a better chance of winning, because you guys know all of these players, right? You guys know who I'm talking about when I bring up every single name. I can just go with their last name. You guys know immediately who I'm talking about, right? Other people don't. Other people get to like the 10th round and they're just going off a sheet. Like, I don't know who these guys are, and they're just picking names, right? And so you know who the sleepers are. You know where the upside are. You know where the handcuffs are. You know everything. Give yourself an edge. Get in a deeper league with 7, 8 bench spots. You're just loaded up with high-ticket items, and some of them are going to hit. But if you're in a 5-man bench, you have less of a chance to hit. And this other guy, you know, there weren't as many rounds, and he just picked off like a sheet that told him who was good, and you didn't create as much edge for yourself. So if you're a commissioner and you want an edge, deeper leagues. Deeper leagues are the benefit of better players. That's just my quick take. But we're upside hunting because we've got Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, Kiki QT, and Curtis Samuel. But we want Marquez. Like I said, he's my guy. I think he's good by a decent margin. The second best wide receiver on that roster. I believe that there are reports he might not play the slot, but I'm not concerned with that because if he's not in the slot, he'll be on the outside. They're going to scheme targets for Marquez. There are little rumblings that things aren't going super smooth over in Green Bay. Doesn't matter. He's going to be an every down wide receiver with Aaron Rodgers. That's someone that I want on my football team. So, 3 picks left. One of them has to be a defense. It'll be the last round. What's our count? Our count is sleeper. Okay, here's the thing, sleeper. I love you guys. But why is the count? Oh, it's because of flex. I don't like that. I think that this count thing should just have 1 out of 1 flex, but it should still count the wide receivers and the running back. So even though I have a running back in my flex, this should still say 5 out of 2 because I do still have 5 running backs. One's in the flex. It shouldn't throw me off being like, oh no, I need another running back. No, he's in the flex. Let's just give me another thing. Say 5. Say 5 there. Engineers it at sleeper. Not that I think any of them are watching my videos. But since we're even, and since we're definitely not drafting a backup tight end or quarterback in a 10 team. Oh, let's actually look. So we're in the 13th round right now. This is who we would have gotten if we had not taken Sir Andrew Luck. Oh, let's do an experiment too. Okay, so if I'm in this range, I'm taking Lamar Jackson, but I'm also probably waiting. We'll do the experiment next round. Fasten your seatbelts for a wonderful experiment. Upside. Yeah, I mean, Adrian Peterson, Damian Harris. Breida's still available. Justice Hill. Okay, Breida's far and away the best running back on that list. Now, we don't need upside there. Oh, Deshaun Hamilton would be a good pick. But we can probably wait. Okay. So, there's a lot of guys in San Fran, right? It's concerning. But Matt Breida is really good. Like, he's a really good running back. And while I think that McKinnon will be used as a scat back on 3rd downs and that they're going to use Tevin Coleman for the majority, I don't need Breida. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't need him to be amazing at week 1. But the dude had a banged up ankle for like most of last year, and he was still really good. Like, he proved he's a really good running back. So he's still going to get work. And let's say something happens to Coleman. I mean, it's the same situation. He's going to go back in and be really good again this year. So when I've got McCaffrey and Henderson, Murray, Jones, Penny, I don't need him to be great to start the season. I think talent sometimes wins out. It's always about opportunity. But I think if you're the most talented running back on that roster, which I think he is, then there's a chance that he does really good in an offense that should be a lot better than it was last year. So that's upside. I'm going to take Breida for the upside. You could have gone with those other running backs I listed, most notably probably Damien Harris. Similar situation. You know, he's not going to be elite to start off, but you don't need him to be. I could take him, but we're going to take Deshaun Hamilton with this pick, unless there's someone... Devonta Parker. Oh, boy. Oh, you could do Josh Gordon, though. My boy. Robert Foster, you could throw in a Robert Foster. Just take whoever you like. In this range, you take someone that you believe in. For me, that someone is Deshaun Hamilton. Just because we know that Emmanuel Sanders is going to be back. But listen, he's not going to be himself, even if he does show up in week 1. No way he's the old Emmanuel Sanders. So Deshaun Hamilton is going to be worth a 14th round pick. So we'll take him. And the thought experiment was this pick and luck, or who I could have gotten in the 5th round plus load Lamar Jackson. So if you guys have my rankings, you know I have Lamar Jackson in the top 10. I think I have him like 9th, maybe somewhere around that range, just because he's projected for around 800 to 900 rushing yards. And when you have that sort of rushing capability and rushing touchdown upside, you don't need a whole lot in the passing game, because rushing is a cheat code in fantasy. Mobile quarterbacks are cheat codes, which is why Cam Newton available in the 12th is ridiculous. And Dak Prescott, for that matter. Which way was it going? So it went this way, this way, this way, this way. Okay. So, realistically, we would have taken Kenyon Drake. We would have taken Kenyon Drake with that pick. So would you rather have Kenyon Drake and Lamar Jackson, or, unfortunate that it was Deshaun Hamilton, let's just pretend it's Breida. We'll say Breida / Damian Harris / Alexander Madison, Justice Hill, whoever your favorite late round guy is. Pick whichever one. So in your head right now, whichever your favorite one was that list. That dude and Andrew Luck, or Kenyon Drake and Lamar Jackson. Write in the comments section. This is a really good thing, and something you should be doing in your mock drafts, is being like, hey, I don't take quarterbacks early, but what happens if I do? And then go back and be like, okay, in that round I would have taken Kenyon Drake, and then I would have been stuck with Lamar Jackson. That's my team. Look at your team. Which do you like more? This is what I do with Travis Kelce, and I've basically determined this season that your team can still be elite with the skill position players and Travis Kelce. Or you can be still elite with the skill position players and take a guy in the mid-range who has nowhere near the upside that Travis Kelce does. So if you're getting Kelce in the 2nd round every single time, well, if you're in 10 leagues, don't take him in the 2nd round every time. But if I'm in my big money league, oh, do I need to make a pick? 2 minutes. If I'm in my big money league, I'm taking Kelce in the 2nd round, because I'm still really cool with all of my wide receivers and running backs and quarterbacks, even without him. But getting back on track, write in the comment section which of those two duos you would have rather had given my roster. Would you rather have Lamar Jackson and Kenyon Drake, or Andrew Luck and whichever one of your favorite running back / well, running backs, just because I wanted to keep it the same. I guess you could throw Deshaun Hamilton in there too. But I wanted to keep the positions the same for you guys. I still have not yet looked at the beginning of the season to say who's playing bad teams. So I'll just pick the Broncos. I don't remember. We'll just pick the Broncos. I'm gonna look sometime soon and see who's playing bad opponents to start off their season, and just have defenses ready. I have like 3 or 4 defenses that we can just be like, hey, we're streaming defense. We always stream defense. Who are some guys that I can have for like weeks 1 and 2? They're gonna be really good. I just don't remember Denver's schedule. Let's look at the team, guys. So, Andrew Luck, Christian McCaffrey, Darrell Henderson, Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, Travis Kelce, Rashad Penny, the Broncos, Latavius Murray, Ronald Jones, Kiki Kuti, Curtis Samuel, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Breida, and Deshaun Hamilton. I mean, I think this is as deep of a bench as you can get. It's a 10-team league, so they're not as competitive. I don't want to say I'm not as competitive. Not as difficult to draft a good team because there's 2 less teams. So, you know, there's just more talent to be spread around between less people. Like in an 8-team league, if your team's not good, you stink at drafting. But I think it's really good, and it's actually a different team than I usually draft because I usually go running back heavy. But this draft, it didn't present itself, and I'm still cool with it because I'm obviously cool with Christian McCaffrey, and you guys know how I feel on the rest of these running backs. So, guys, let me know how the mock draft went, how you guys think it went. Let me know how you think between those 2 decisions. It looks like going forward, couldn't do it this week, but probably for the rest of them, an idea we have thrown around is that we invite people who are in our chat to these mock drafts, okay? And we do a mock draft. Then you guys vote. You guys say, I like team 8 the most. I'm going to like put on the screen, be like, here's all the teams. I would do something like this, you know, here's all the teams. You guys would look at it and be like, I like this team, this team, this team. Whoever gets the most votes gets a spot in the subscriber league. And that's how it's going to work. So we want to reward people who put together really good mock drafts, but not reward them from how I think the mock draft went. Reward them by how you guys think it went. So I think that's going to start next week. I have not decided yet which chat I'm talking about, if I'm going to do it with the sleeper chat or if I'm going to do it with being a premium member and doing it with the Facebook chat. But either way, you should join both of the chats because if you're in both of them, then you've got a shot to be part of the things. And I mean, a lot of people are going to get a shot because we're going to be doing a mock draft every Monday. It's probably going to be a 12-team league every time. So there's going to be 11 of you that are given a chance each week. And don't create a bunch of spam accounts to... I probably shouldn't have even said that. Don't create a bunch of spam accounts just to vote your name. That'd be ridiculous. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, how about we hit the like button? How about we subscribe if we are new? And thanks for watching.